Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. It's 8:30 p.m. in the high 10 Eastern Standard Time. This is Everyday Shenanigans, and I will be playing audio from different sources pertaining to the trial of Jussie Smollett. My new name for him is Jussie Puss, because he's you already know, shut your mouth. This is the most baffling information that I have heard since probably R. Kelly. Not as vulgar and descriptive and nasty as the R. Kelly testimony from different women, but just the fact that a person would be so eager to get attention, be a fame whore, throw people under the bus that they know, allegedly like, friends with. Jussie Smollett is the ultimate sociopath. He is a bum. He's a disgrace as a black man. He's a disgrace as a homosexual. He's just a fucking disgrace to me. My language will not be nice in this live. If you can't stand the heat, please get out of the kitchen, because I'm giving you fair warning. I'm on and popping tonight pertaining to Jussie Smollett. Every notification I've gotten has gotten more disgusting by the moment. This thing, he's not a man, he's a thing. He is vile. He is a walking time bomb ready to go off. Anybody that crosses his path, you need to beware. He is not to be messed with, because he will throw your ass under the bus. Listen to me good. I didn't get to 50 by mistake. I know his kind. I've been around his kind, and they're nothing to mess with. He's vile. CBS Chicago is my first source. Thank you for joining me.
Every craft business starts small.
Back on the stand today for more questioning. CBS 2's Charlie DeMar in the courtroom for all the action. Charlie, at times today, the cross-examination got heated.
Brad, a much different demeanor from Jussie Smollett. He was agitated at times compared to just a day ago when he took the stand. He was calm and measured as he fielded questions from prosecutors. It was also a more aggressive line of questioning and more direct line of questioning from prosecutors today. It was a short day for the jury. They were sent home after just a couple of hours of testimony, and very soon this case will be theirs, and it will be up to them to decide who they believe.
Jussie Smollett was back on the witness stand in his own defense Tuesday, maintaining his innocence. During cross-examination, prosecutors took a direct and more aggressive approach, asking Smollett if he recruited one of the Osendiro brothers for the alleged staged attack, to which Smollett sounded agitated when he replied, different from his measured demeanor Monday. Quote, as I've said for the past 3 years, I deny that. That never happened. There was no hoax. With the defense resting their case, Smollett's fate will soon be in the hands of 6 men and 6 women. Smollett admitted to changing his stories to investigators. He testified to initially identifying his attackers as white, but in later interviews said they were pale-skinned. Prosecutors asked if Smollett thought his hoax attack would be more credible if he was attacked by white men. Smollett responded, you would have to ask someone who actually planned a fake hate crime.
I've known Jussie since he was an infant.
Supporters of Smollett say they're proud of his strength during the trial and are confident in the jury.
Jussie, rather, could easily have caught the plea with a slap on the wrist and then moved on with his life. But he chose instead to stand up to injustice.
I'm pissed off.
But in a nationally televised interview just weeks after the reported incident, Smollett said he never took the rope off his neck. On the stand, Smollett was questioned about the inconsistencies.
The character assassination of Jussie is an injury to his personal reputation, to his career, and to his soul. He has lost income and many professional opportunities.
While the evidence in this case is closed, the fight in the courtroom is far from over. The attorneys will be back tomorrow. Closing arguments will begin, and then this case will be handed over to the jury for the start of deliberations. We are live from the Layton Criminal Courthouse. Charlie DeMar, CBS 2 News.
And be the first to know when there's a verdict. Sign up for our alerts at cbschicago.com. We'll carry the decision live right here on CBS and our digital streaming network, CBSN Chicago.
CBS Chicago is my first source. Thank you so very much for joining me. Hello, Detroit in the house. Amen. Thank you, my next door neighbor. Yes, honey. The queen grew up in the Shy. Amen. I'm going to be playing you several videos so you can get a gist of what went on. I will recap it by an article, and then I will give you my commentary pertaining to the information that has been relayed in the said articles and videos. Amen. Oh, Lord, help me, Jesus. My favorite news channel, BNC. This is Black Folks News. For those of you that don't know anything about it, it's got Mr. Mike Hill as a commentary specialist. My crush, my secret crush. Did Jussie Smollett's testimony hurt or help his case? This was uploaded 6 hours ago. I'm going to bring it to you. Amen. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me.
To stand in his own defense. What's that tell you? And you said it was a sense of desperation. We've seen other trials where the defendants have taken a stand. Kyle Rittenhouse, Travis McMichael. Obviously, this case not on that level there, but how did Jussie do, in your opinion?
Well, listen, we have seen, as you said, this pattern that if you want to create reasonable doubt, well, if you're the defendant, get on the stand and do it yourself. I think that Jussie did a very good job in terms of creating a doubt. Now, whether or not it was reasonable on Mike, I think that's yet to be seen. But let's look at some of the things. First of all, we need to be a likable person. And when Jussie took the stand, he gave history about his family and his movie career and what it was like being an actor and just kind of his trajectory in the industry. And that was good to kind of establish this likability quotient that he probably thought he needs to have with the jury. But a couple of things that he addressed too that were very important in this very explosive testimony. First of all, this check that was of issue, he says again that it was for exercise. The phone records that he didn't want to release to the police. He said that he got a text from Don Lemon that said, you know, the police don't believe you. And because of that, he felt a little hesitant. So he didn't want to give his phone records, which, as we know, would have been key to helping the police in their investigation. And then we heard about an interesting sexual relationship that he had with one of the brothers, Bola and Sadiaro, in terms of taking ecstasy and cocaine and marijuana. And he said that, listen, they hung out together so that if they were in the car together, they were driving around, it wasn't necessarily that they were doing a reconnaissance, but that's just what they did. They had a sexual relationship. He had met him while working on the set of Empire. They really became friends. So a lot of doubt was cast, and that's going to be key. So to answer your question, I think that Jussie brought it home, but we have to see what will happen on cross-examination as it continues today.
And all it takes is one juror to create that reasonable doubt to have a mistrial in this case.
I pray
established, though, a motive for these brothers here. He's basically saying that they're homophobic, yet the brothers have been seen hanging out with them. Everybody knew that Jussie Smollett was obviously out, knew that he was gay. So do you think he established that part of the case?
And that's why I said there's doubt, but is it reasonable? That's where it gets really confusing and murky. Are they homophobic or are they not? And one, as you said, he said he had a relationship with them, but if they were homophobic, why were they doing that? I mean, he has to kind of establish that behind the scenes thing. The other thing I think is this text that he wrote, and I'm certain that we're going to hear more about this on cross-examination. And I just want to read briefly from it. He said, I know 1,000% you and your brother did nothing wrong. I'm making the statement so everyone knows. Please hit me up when they let you go. That's what he texted to the brothers. How is he going to explain that? Why is he actually reaching out to the people who attacked him? It really doesn't make any sense. So as I said, there's doubt. It is not reasonable yet. Today will be a very, very interesting day.
Yeah, let's talk about that. The cross-examination is going to continue today. What do you expect the prosecution to do?
Listen, they're going to go in on that text. They're also going to kind of just parse everything to figure out step by step from the news, why he took it on, why he put it off, why he took it on, why he put it off. Of course, he gave his testimony as to why that happened. He said one of his managers said, go ahead and put that news back on. But they are really going to chop up every single piece of information. They're going to get into the sexual relationship. They're going to get into these texts, all of the records that we have heard about, but now Jussie has to explain them. each and every one of them. So it's going to be a field day, I think, for the prosecutors, because there's so much just on video, number one, and then there's so much digital history when it comes to text that you just can't refute. And that is what the prosecutors and the police base their cases on. As we know, the police have sued Jussie for what they say is lying about this. They're all going on this information that they say is just, you cannot refute it. It is on record. So we're going to hear more about what was on record, and we'll see what Jussie has to say about that.
Yeah, his charges up to 3 years in prison as well, and the case could be in the hands of the jury as early as today. As a matter of fact, the judge pretty much said it would be. All right, Candace, we'll be keeping an eye on it. We know you will. You have something else to say?
Then yes, the judge would certainly like this to move along. I think they hope that it would have finished up last week, because as we've talked about before, there's a little bit of why are we here, but we'll see tomorrow probably how things turn out when it goes to the jury, more than likely.
All right, we'll see if we get a resolution pretty soon here. Candace Kelly, I always appreciate you.
All right, that's Mike Hill and Candace Kelly. Amen. BNC is the source. That's source number 2. Thank you so much for joining me. Woo! It's hot and bothered right now. Hot and bothered. Source number 3, BNC. Once again, uploaded 9 hours ago. Jussie Smollett claims sexual relationship with alleged attacker. This gets really jacked up. This is some jacked up information that you're about to hear. Allegations against one of the brothers. The brother has denied the allegation of having a sexual relationship with Mr. Smollett. Jussie Puss. Yeah, that's my new name for him. BNC.
This is like this should be on Fox. Prime time. It's like
you're right.
Is this
it's
really
prime
happening
time
right now?
Yeah, it does belong in prime time.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you something. If you're gonna go on the stand after all this time and so much that's been written about, talked about, you've been accused of. If you're gonna tell it, what I'm saying is tell it all. And it seems like that's what he's telling it all. Okay, the encounters, Jussie. The drug, whatever it is, which shouldn't be shocking. I don't want to pin it on Hollywood, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I just, it was a lot. What I do like is, and this has been an explosive case, and it's of course made headlines. But what I think is also a sign of the times is there's still homophobia, there's still all these things, but that wasn't even like the lead big bombshell National Enquirer type stuff when Jussie said, yeah, we had some entanglements. You know what I mean? We had entanglements, then we went over here and smoked some weed, and we did this, we did that. So I think that's interesting too. It's where we are. That's not going to end his career, and who cares? Yeah.
Convoluted. But you know what? Seed of doubt. And that's all you need. And we got into this thing now where we had 3 huge trials, and this case obviously is not on the level. Let's get this straight right now. Not on the level of what we saw in down in Georgia. Not on the level of what's the last one we did? The one we saw in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Not on that level whatsoever. But the defendants getting on the stand to testify on their own behalf. I mean, usually we talk to our legal expert, Candace Kelly, who says it's trending now. And he's getting on there and he's explaining. And now you wonder, like, okay, could that be true? There is homophobia in this country. Oh, you blame it on the brother, not necessarily the man that you're having an affair with or kind of a little bit of an entanglement with. Talk about drug use. Talk about the reason why you put the noose back on your neck, because that was a big thing, is because if somebody puts a noose around my neck, the first thing I'm doing is taking the noose off. But he said that his manager told him to put the noose back around his neck. So now, if you're on the jury,
which is another thing. Yeah. Well, that's another thing too. So, you're dealing with a superstar. He was at the height of his fame when he's on the phone with his manager, saying, yeah, put that back on, because we want them to see everything that happened to you. Put that back on. Yeah. So I think that's interesting as well. I did.
All right. Source number 3, BNC News. Defense rests and Jussie Smollett trial. WGN News is source.
Jussie Smollett is still on the stand. His lawyer just started questioning him during redirect, but court resumed this morning with Special Prosecutor Dan Webb picking up his cross-examination. Webb starts by asking Smollett about the day he allegedly recruited the Osundairo brothers. Smollett denied any involvement, saying, quote, "There was no hoax on my part. Everything you're going to ask me about that, the answer is going to be denied." This comes after Smollett was under oath for 6 hours yesterday. He repeatedly denied staging a racist and homophobic attack on himself nearly 3 years ago. Last week, the Osundairo brothers testified that Smollett paid them $3,500 to carry out the alleged attack for sympathetic media coverage. Their testimony, as well as 5 Chicago police investigators, made up the bulk of the prosecution's case against Smollett. Smollett has pled not guilty to 6 counts of disorderly conduct.
Marcus, Judge Gamboni is not here today.
If convicted, Smollett could serve up to 3 years in prison. I'm also told that this case could go into the hands of the jury as soon as this evening. Reporting live from 26th in California, I'm Kelly Davis, WGN News.
WGN News is the source. Thank you so very much. Woo! Hot. The block is hot. Lord have mercy. Next live is The Hill. This will be a little longer, 9 minutes and 36 seconds. Trust me, it'll be worth your while because the Queen's going to bring you every little bit of information she can. I'm bringing it all to you because I want you to understand what the hell happened in court yesterday and today. So there'll be no misunderstanding when you hear me chime in because you know I'm about to get crunk on Jussie Smollett. So I'll have to play all this commentary so you'll know why I am pissed off right now. If you didn't know any better, you would think I knew this fool. Lord have mercy. Somebody called a paramedic because I believe I'm just going, oh, Jesus, help me. 9:39. Bear with me. It'll be worth the trip. The Hill is the source.
Yesterday with Smollett himself testifying. Now, I am incredibly fascinated by this trial, but not enough so to follow it that closely. Luckily for us here at Rising, Robbie is covering it much more closely. So, Robbie, unfortunately, we don't, unlike some of the other celebrity trials that we've had, there's no video in the camera. I mean, there's no video camera in the courtroom, so we can't play clips for people. We can't kind of analyze frame by frame what's going on. We have to rely on reports from inside the courtroom. But what did you hear about how the testimony went yesterday?
Yeah, and I'll just say the lack of cameras is a crime against the media because man, do we wish we could be watching this.
First, the cameras malfunctioned and didn't capture the interaction between the 2 Nigerians and Smollett. He was trying to get captured by camera, but they weren't working. And now they don't have them in the courtroom.
That is what the prosecution has argued, that he was furious that he didn't get his allegedly fake crime on camera. But so yesterday, Smollett testified. He took a page out of the Kyle Rittenhouse playbook and actually took the stand. And he said there was no hoax. So he is maintaining this was a genuine attack on him. The issue is it's so overwhelmingly clear that these.
What if you could
sorry about that. They got to pay their due bills.
The issue is it's so overwhelmingly clear that the two Nigerian brothers, the Osundairo brothers, they are the ones who did it. You can't claim it's someone else. They have said we did it. There's enough, video evidence of them heading there, being captured on the street, that kind of thing. So, and obviously he knows them and is friends with them. So he has to argue that they did it for some reason. So he has tried to claim that they were either there was some homophobia. He has introduced the idea that he and one of the brothers had a sort of I think I called it an amorous relationship, that they had been sort of involved. That brother denied that on the stand. And then he has also claimed that, maybe they wanted to scare him so that he would have to hire them as security. So these 2 brothers had worked on his show on Empire with him. and they had done some training with him. So I thought the funniest thing he said during his testimony, Smollett. So he said, because there's a big question of, well, how? Let's say, so they did this without your help. This was a genuine attack. Well, how did they know where you were going to be on the streets of Chicago in freezing cold weather? At 2 a.m. or whenever this took place. It was late. It was cold. You can't just run into someone, in this kind of environment. In Chicago is a giant city, so they had to know exactly where he would be. So he says that's because for his exercise health regimen that they were texting, and the brother said, "Oh, you got to have eggs right now. You got to go get eggs. Go out and get eggs." So he went to the grocery store to go buy so he could make 4 eggs. And that's when they ambushed him. So they lured him. The egg trap. This is how I lure all my enemies into a false sense of security. I say, go buy eggs. Then I stalk them, and then I kill them, Ryan. That's what I do. So it was pretty funny.
Right, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because if you are, not to overanalyze something that is completely obviously not true, but if you are going to assault somebody who you know, and the vast majority of assaults that take place are between people who know each other, you're
Yes.
probably going to do that either in your apartment or their apartment. Like that's where that's going to happen, rather than in public, where you're much more likely to be caught on camera or caught by people who see it happen, or caught by police who might just happen to be, going by at that moment. So if you know the person, you might say, "Hey, you need eggs. I'm going to bring you eggs," and they're going to open the door for you because you are their friend. But it seems like at a minimum at this point, he has completely walked back the original claim that these were MAGA Trump supporters doing a hate crime.
Yeah, right. There's no world in which that narrative is holding up at all. Even if the jury were to determine that they're not beyond a reasonable doubt persuaded that Jussie did tell these brothers to do this, even though I think it's overwhelmingly clear that he did. But even if they decide, well, I'm not so confident, I don't know for absolutely sure, that does not mean, yes, the initial idea that it was, MAGA hat, we're a MAGA country, people doing this. Yeah, there's no theory of the defense or of anyone is holding that up as true. So Jussie did say he was asked. He said he was reluctant to involve the police because he, as a black person, he doesn't trust the police. Saw someone joke that does he think the jury for this case is Twitter? So it's he's making kind of a activist talking points, but it was interesting.
Does he have an explanation for the money that changed hands that the brothers say was for the assault? Is he saying that was just for kind of services rendered around training and whatever else?
Yes, he has, and he's maintained that since this started looking kind of funny 2 years ago. Okay. Yeah, he says it was for training and for other things. The defense tried to argue, why would he give them cash for the noose and those supplies, but then why would he be stupid enough to sign up whatever that was, a check or whatever for the higher amount? But it was a higher amount. Maybe he just didn't have $3,500 in cash. So I think that's easily answered. That you don't, unless you're like a drug lord, you're not carrying that much cash.
Right. And once you've seen like how this whole thing unfolded, the question of intelligence and competence is kind of out the window. Like that's not going to fly anymore. Like if you were, smart enough to not, pay a check to your fake assailants, you would have been able to reason your way to the place to not do this in the first place, you would think. Right.
You would think. Yeah, I think his only hope might be if a jury were to decide that they don't know that those brothers are credible enough. I mean, because in a certain way they're not credible because they were willingly participating in this scheme. The brother, denied that they had a kind of sexual encounter, which Jussie said that they did, and it, I don't know, kind of sounded like he partly denied it. He said, but yes, we went to this bathhouse or something together, and so it sounds to me like there's some indication that it probably didn't go further than Osendero was willing to admit. So if a jury were to decide that totally, I guess, completely impeaches his credibility, I mean, I don't know. No, I think we're going to have a conviction, and I hope he does. I hope he doesn't get locked up, because that would be again, just as we talked about in your reality winner radar. It is ridiculous to give people long prison stretches who are not any danger to society. Jussie is not a danger to society. He's maybe a danger to himself. He's not even a danger.
He is a danger. Yes, he is.
Crime. But
don't tell no lies.
The lie needs to be exposed. People need to know that this is not. This kind of thing is not a common occurrence. There are hate crimes. There are just crimes that aren't where hate is not even in a ideological hate is not an important component of it, but sometimes it is. But this kind of flashy playing into people's biases, MAGA people roaming the streets of Chicago, did not happen, and people do need to understand that.
Right. And he has already paid
Happy birthday, Broomer.
Consequences. His career is effectively over.
Yeah, his career is ruined, which is a huge price to pay, and a sad price to pay. But he totally brought this on himself, and I think we all.
No, the incident took place on my birthday.
He hadn't, but he's just, he's so committed to the lie at this point, probably because he realizes he's not likely to face a lot of, even though I think theoretically the sentence could be up to 3 years. Experts tell me they don't expect him to be sentenced to much prison time or any. So I guess, why not take the chance that you could, this is his only shot really to be able to have a film career again, or a TV career again in the short term. It would be to kind of be vindicated. So it's not, even though it's very unlikely, it's probably, he might be calculating the gamble is worth it.
All right. And we'll find out. Thanks, Robbie. And we'll have more Rising right after this.
All right. That was a little bit mild mannered, because when us black folks talk, we get a lot of hype, and we give sentiments when we spin a story. But nonetheless, I'm just playing a little bit of everybody so you can get a gist of what the hell's been going on in this court proceeding, because there are no cameras. This judge decided not to have any cameras, which I think is ridiculous, because people want to see the expressions on the lawyer's face, the judge's face, the defendant's face, the witnesses, whoever. I want to see what they look like. I want to see how they interact when a person testifies. I want to see if they give eye contact. We need to see that. I don't want to hear verbatim from Pookie, Bubba. I want to see. You know how I rock. Jussie Smollett takes a stand in his own defense 10 hours ago. Here we go. ABC7 is the source. Hold on.
Between Smollett and the Osenderos, the actor challenging the siblings' credibility, as well as the alleged motive behind the hoax. How do you think it went today, Jussie? Prosecutors contend Smollett was upset his TV studio didn't take seriously this threatening letter he'd reported, and so he hatched a plan for the fake attack. But the 39-year-old actor testified the studio and
39
higher security for him, and he turned it down because it was too intrusive. Smollett testified Bola Osendero continually suggested he should be the actor's bodyguard, an idea Smollett rejected. The former Empire star testified that he and Osendero sometimes became romantic. On at least 2 occasions at a Boys Town bathhouse, he said they kissed in a private room. Osendero testified last week he's heterosexual, and there was no romantic relationship. Smollett testified he often smoked marijuana in part to cope with the stress of the show, saying he would often drive around with Osendero smoking pot in the car as a way to relax. And that's what he was doing, Smollett testified, during what the prosecution contends was a dry run with both brothers. Did you talk to him about some hoax, his attorney asked. No, said Smollett, there was no hoax. Under cross-examination by Special Prosecutor Dan Webb, Smollett denied he refused to give his phone to police because messages could connect him to the Osenderos. And as for why he initially refused to give police his DNA, Smollett said, I don't even do Ancestry.com. Smollett denied manipulating the rope that Ola Osendero testified he was unable to get around the actor's neck. You put it around your neck, said Webb. No, Mr. Webb, I did not, said Smollett. Smollett testified that nearly 3 years after being punched, he still has a scar around his eye. Cross-examination continues in the morning. Today, the judge said it could be Wednesday before the jury gets the case.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.
All right, ABC7 Source, my home. Amen. Say hello to everybody in the Shy. More drama. For those who have not been keeping up with the Jussie Smollett case, he's alleging that he had a relationship affair with one of the brothers in a bathhouse on more than one occasion. They rode around, smoked reefer together. I can't believe I just said that, reefer. Mary Jane. Is that better? The brother brought the cocaine, I brought the weed. Shut up, Queen. I'm about to start rapping. Oh, sucky now. Lord have mercy. I can't wait to get crunk. Somebody gonna have to pray for me. Somebody gonna have to pray for the Queen. Because I'm about to get just ignorant up here. Okay. Oh, let me start at the top. I got to go all the way back up because I know I'm trying to bring it out to you. I brought you several sources. He's now put Don Lemon on blast. This man has no loyalty to his friends, associates. No matter what conversation Mr. Lemon had with Jussie Smollett almost 3 years ago next month, he had no business repeating it in the courtroom because I don't feel like it was relevant if it is indeed the truth that Mr. Lemon said what Jussie said he said. Y'all see where this is going? This is a he said, she said case. Facing at least 3 to 6 years on he said and she said and wasting resources from Chicago's police department. A city that's filled and riddled with crime. And you would waste their time with this bullshit. Don Lemon, let me guess. You ready to whoop his ass too, ain't you? Yeah, you should. Here we go. Fox News is the source. Thank you all for joining this Everyday Shenanigans. How you doing, Anne Frank? Thank you, baby. Thank you, Mr. Hunter. Thank you, darling.
For and with his brother. But now this revelation, the bigger question is, so Discovery is merging with CNN's parent company. It's going to be Warner Brothers Discovery, maybe the merger complete by the middle of next year. What does David Zaslav have to say and do about Zucker and CNN, or John Malone, who's a major shareholder in Discovery, on the board of
Thank
Discovery?
You, Janet. Hello, Audrey.
Is this enough to make them get rid of CNN? That hasn't been the indication in the past, but if they keep it, I would expect some changes would be afoot in how this network is run.
Well, John Malone was interviewed recently, and he said he would like to see CNN go back to news. And you wonder what that looks like, CNN going back to news and taking all of those opinionated people out of there. Brandon, what are your thoughts on what that might look like?
Well, my head is spinning from this entire ordeal, I'll be honest with you. I mean, first we get a hate crime, then we get a ruse that's covering it up, then we get the CNN involvement, the mainstream media perhaps helping to cover this up. I'm just wondering what Act 4 is here. Is this going to go full Scooby-Doo mode and the judge pulls his mask off and reveals who the whole mastermind is behind this mess? And this story has become ridiculous.
Well, it's not new, Brandon. I mean, as I mentioned yesterday, this is a CNN story, not a Cuomo story. The network has just ignored truth now for 5 years, been unable. There was a real inability to cover Donald Trump fairly, and they reported that there was Russian collusion for years.
How are we going to talk about Donald Trump?
Significantly, with Jay Tapper among one of the first people out there reporting on this Steele dossier, as if it was anything. We know now for a fact that it was all a big lie, and it was Hillary Clinton trying to take down her political opponent. But that all was front and center on CNN for several years.
Okay. I'm playing a little bit of everything. I'm diverse. Fox News, get a grip. Nobody can stand account for what other people do. Just like other people at CNN They should not be held accountable for whatever you all think Don Lemon did wrong. You got to prove that Don Lemon broke protocol. You got to prove that somebody from CNN told him that they didn't believe Jussie Smollett. You got to prove that Don Lemon talked to somebody in Chicago, a police officer, a detective, used their name, repeated it back to Jussie Smollett. Hey, Pookie said this about you. Then you can say he was unethical. But what fool's going to admit anything? If I was Don, I wouldn't utter a word, period. I wouldn't utter a word. You know what I would do? Since I see that Jussie Smollett is snitching everybody out, I don't know what you're talking about. I never told Jussie Smollett that the police don't believe him. I think Jussie Smollett already knew the police didn't believe him. Duh. What the hell? I told you all in the past 2 videos that he is ratchet. He is diabolical, that he would throw you under the bus as quick as he could. And now we got Don Lemon in the mix because Jussie Smollett rolled his little dusty ass up in that courtroom and then threw that man's name out there when he doesn't have anything to do with this alleged attack. Why would you do that? He doesn't have a dog in the race. He doesn't have a dog in the race. And you had no right to throw his name out there. Now he's got to worry about his job because of your wagging ass mouth. This is some BS coming out of Chicago. Thank you all for joining me. Fox News was the last source, business news. Okay, let me see what else I got for you all. I believe that's it. I'm going to go ahead and read my commentary, and then I'm going to drop my information. Drop my commentary. Sorry it took so long, but I wanted to make sure I showed you all a little bit of everything that's coming out of Chicago, Illinois pertaining to the case. I'm going to now recap you of everything that's going on that took place in the courtroom because there are no cameras in the courtroom. And I was getting ready to type this in the chat, but I'll go ahead and say it while I'm live. This Fox News B-rating CNN is a joke because if the network wants to let you have your own show where you give your commentary, then that's what it is. News versus a commentary is different. Like what I'm doing is commentary. If I was a news reporter, I could not give my commentary or my opinion rather. So if the network lets you have your own show, then you can give your own opinion. No, I'm in East Tennessee, baby, but I'm from Chicago, raised in Chicago. There's a difference between news reporting and your own program. Own program, say what the hell you want. News reporting, I read a script. Everybody knows that. You read a script. So Fox doesn't have any business throwing shade. And they went from Jussie Smollett to Donald Trump to Hillary Clinton and Russia, all in one sentence. And it's like, well, what are you doing here? The same damn thing you're accusing CNN. Just like somebody does something heinous at Fox, should I judge everybody that works for Fox? One person does something bad at CNN or allegedly does something bad, should I judge everybody that works for CNN? No, you don't do that. Because that's the same BS that everybody in the hood's a thug. Everybody in the trailer park is trash. Every Jew is greedy. See where I'm going? You don't do that. You're too old for that, and it's childish. Thank you for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $sign McAngie, 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome to the live. This source is Daily Beast. Jussie Smollett got totally nailed in his cross-examination. After Jussie Smollett spilled all the tea he could on Monday, Special Prosecutor Dan Webb put the focus back on the attack on the Empire Star that allegedly staged in a brutal cross-examination on Tuesday. Webb, a lawyer's lawyer who nailed corrupt judges and cops when he served as the U.S. attorney for the district, including Chicago, and who prosecuted Ronald Reagan's national security advisor and deposed the president and special counsel in the Iran-Contra affair, shifted the focus back to the incident at hand. My God, that's a long reading. This after Smollett had previously shared intimate details about his relationship with one of the Osundairo brothers who have testified that the actor paid them $3,500 in 2019 to stage a fake hate crime against him. Tuesday's cross-examination felt like a masterclass in how to zero in on details and seal the deal. After a day of salacious speculation, innuendo, and tabloid fodder, Webb wanted to remind the jury what they were here to decide upon. Webb focused on the scene of the incident and the actions leading up to it. Evidence provided during the trial showed that Smollett and the Osendero brothers drove multiple times in the preceding days around the exact location where the actor would later claim he was physically attacked, had bleach poured on him, a noose put around his neck in the frigid wee hours of January 29, 2019, the Queen's birthday. Smollett had previously testified that he solely worked with Abimbola, the Osendero brother. He also testified that he had a sexual drug-induced relationship with, and that he didn't get along with the older brother, Alambino, who Smollett claimed had nothing to do with my life. Come again? Oh, Lord, I'm about to get crunk. This motherfucker is crazy. Oh, somebody give me a hammer. Abimbola, who appeared as an extra on Empire, has denied that he and Smollett had a sexual relationship. Okay. So we got Abimbola, the one that he allegedly had the sex with, drugs with, and the older brother is Olambino, who he's saying he had nothing to do with my life. And also he's made other allegations that he took the, what did he say? The vibe out the room. Lord have mercy, I'm dead. So why was Olambino in the car with the two of them around the area in question for a workout that didn't happen? You got so stoned that you decided when you got to Streeterville you were too stoned to work out, Webb asked. No, Smollett replied back. I've worked out many times high on weed. It certainly wasn't that. The actor claims that he found it weird that Olambino had accompanied him in Amandino, and that at the time he said the workout didn't happen because he had an interview to prepare for. But as Webb kept pressing him on specifics, Smollett grew more and more visibly frustrated. One notable example was when the prosecution pressed Smollett to acknowledge that he drove around the area not one but 3 times with the Osendero brothers. Do you have any reason to disagree with police testimony that you passed by the intersection 3 times? Webb asks. I don't know, Smollett replies. I circled around the block. How long were you there? Well, you have the surveillance. You have to tell me, Smollett snapped back. It was 3 years ago. It was clear that Webb had hit a nerve with Smollett after the actor tried to cast doubt on Amandbola's testimony by claiming the two had been in a sexual relationship. Webb put the focus back on Smollett, pressing him in an intense series of back and forth exchanges about the specific details of the night in question. These included whether Smollett thought a Walgreens was open for 24 hours while he was looking for eggs in the middle of the night, whether or not he asked Amandbola about a workout that night, and on until the actor seemed to hit a breaking point. I'm just concerned about answering yes or no, Smollett told Judge James Lynn after Webb began to strike one of his responses as non-responsive. Please, Lynn told him. It's the same for all witnesses. It's not personal to you. The lawyer asked questions. You answered them. Lord, look at him. Got the judge talking to him like he's a child. Lord have mercy, I'm dead. In a final round of back and forth, Webb pressed Smollett on the attack itself and why Smollett changed his initial description of his attackers to the police from white to being pale skinned. Come on. Bingo card. By the end of his cross-examination, Webb had left many lingering questions about Smollett's account of what happened for jurors to consider. Among them, if Smollett had delayed a workout with Amandbola that night as he testified, why were there no follow-up messages or calls about that? Ding! As Webb wrapped up his question, he asked Smollett if getting a few bruises had really impacted his acting career. Mr. Webb, I have a scar under my eye that looks like a bag for the rest of my life, Smollett replied, while also mentioning a black circle on his face is absolutely a problem. Now, Jussie Smollett, stop this bullshit. You know how to find a damn plastic surgeon. You orchestrated this, and now you got a problem with the scratch under your eye, but I thought you wanted it to look real. Okay, I'm dead. Ooh, Jesus, Webb. Webb then showed Smollett a photo of him during his controversial February 2019 Good Morning America interview with Robin Roberts a few weeks after the attack. In the photo, Smollett did not appear to have any of the markings he just described on the stand. Smollett clapped back, asking Webb if he knows what Hollywood interviews are like and insisting that the makeup provided to him on set makes me look much better. Damn, Jussie, how did you let him get you like that? Once Webb finished, defense attorney Nia Uchi followed up with redirect questions for Smollett involving his communication with Osendero brothers. They were fine and fair, but the damage had already been done, as it appears that the once celebrated star may have bitten off more than he could chew by choosing to take the stand. Shut your mouth. That's all, folks. The Daily Beast is the source. Woo! I'm too tired to read anything else and play anything else. I can't do anything. I'm about to go crazy. All right. There's a whole lot to this. Let me read you this so you can get an understanding of what was going on and what the allegations are pertaining to Jussie Smollett and the brothers. The Vice is the source. Thank you all for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Yeah, Juicy is done. Most definitely. One moment, please. 45 minutes in. Jussie Smollett testified he did drugs and masturbated with his attacker. Jussie Smollett's defense has tried to paint the brothers he's accused of hiring to attack him as untrustworthy and having a personal vendetta. Jussie Smollett finally took the stand in his bizarre trial Monday and testified that he once masturbated with one of the men he's accused of hiring to attack him for attention. Smollett said it all went down during a visit to a bathhouse with Bola Osendero, one of the two brothers Smollett. He's accused of paying to beat him up, yell racist slurs, and pour bleach on him in January 2019. We went alone. We got a private room again, Smollett recalled in the courtroom Monday, according to Chicago Tribune reporter Jason Meisner. We made out a little bit, and at this time we masturbated together. Lord, somebody bring the queen a lemonade. Smollett also testified that after he met Osendero at a club, this is incident number 2, people, they made out and did drugs during a different bathhouse interaction in Boys Town, the Chicago Tribune reported. The ex-Empire star's testimony built on the defense's line of questioning last week when one attorney for Smollett dramatically asked Osendero, a major witness for the prosecution, when he started dating Smollett. Osendero said he never did. Smollett, who has pleaded not guilty to 6 counts of disorderly conduct, is accused of orchestrating his own attack and roping in the brothers because he was upset at how the show handled a threatening letter he received to the studio. But Smollett has repeatedly maintained that the attack was no hoax, including on the stand Monday, and his attorneys have sought to show jurors and brothers are untrustworthy and possible homophobic. Smollett is gay. In opening statements last week, Smollett's lawyers also alleged that the brothers beat him up because Osendero and his brother Olambino didn't like him, not because they were paid to do it, according to the Associated Press. And the $3,500 check the jury saw last week that prosecutors said was payment for the brothers' help in staging a hate crime was for physical training from Osendero ahead of a music video, defense lawyers said. Woo! I'm going to read what's on Twitter pertaining to this mess. December 6th. Smollett testifying he needed to get in shape for an upcoming music video shoot, which he described as a male version of Single Ladies, shirtless men doing a coordinated dance in unison on stage. But Smollett talked to Bola Osendero about a training plan in hopes that he get more of a dancer swimmer's build. He testified they didn't discuss payment much. Basically, I turned to him and said, you should just be my trainer. Last week, the jury saw a text Smollett had sent to Osendero about talking on the low, which Osendero testified led to a meeting where Smollett asked him to stage the attack. Smollett, however, has said and repeated Monday that the text was about an illegal steroid, the AP reported. Still, prosecutors have pointed to a video that apparently shows Smollett driving around with the brothers a few days before the attack, which was allegedly the day Smollett brought up the idea of doing it. According to the New York Times, Smollett testified that the drive was just them smoking blunts, actually. Oh. In this woman's tweet, it says, at any point in time, did you talk to him about some hoax? No, Smollett said loudly. This is a courtroom conversation between Smollett and the lawyer. Smollett faces the possibility of up to 3 years in prison, though some experts have said it's unlikely he will spend any time behind bars for his alleged offenses. Still, the evidence against him doesn't look good. Last week, Smollett's lawyers even requested a mistrial over allegations that the judge presiding over the case lunged and snarled at one of the attorneys. The judge swiftly denied the allegations as well as the request for a mistrial. Lord Jesus, somebody just help me out because I'm deadly confused. Vice News is the source. Noted last week in that buffoonery of a mistrial that the defense was seeking, his stupid ass attorney was running around the desk crying. Heifer, what is you crying about? You, the attorney, you should be more professional about yourself. You putting on for the camera. Oops, I forgot they didn't have a camera. You putting on for the judge, acting like your stupid client. Do you see the lengths that people will go through to try to get their client off? This is absolutely crazy. I'm done with these people. I'm so pissed off right now because I cannot believe I'm just sitting here reading this BS. Masturbating with the boy in a bathhouse. So you know what the queen gonna say. Why are you all meeting in bathhouses instead of your apartment? You have your own apartment, Jussie Smollett. Fuckface, you got your own apartment. The brothers had their own apartment. You could go get a hotel somewhere. Give him the money. He paid for the room. You two meet up, do your thing. Voila, magic, it's done. It's over with. In and out. Yeah, I tell people stay woke. Everything you need to know is at the beginning of a story. You're riding around in the car with these people smoking and chiefing, and then out of the blue, they don't like you. They're going to beat you up. But yet they didn't beat you up because had they beat you up, you've been broke down, homeboy. They're both burly sized men. You only came out with a scratch under your eye. Somebody help me understand. How you just get a scratch under your eye with two burly guys that work out every day. Okay. Woo! I'm about to go back to church. There's a leak in this old building. OK Magazine is my last source. Jussie Smollett alleges he did drugs, made out with Amenbola on Sodero, despite alleged attacker claiming they were only friends. Of course, I've already recapped this for you, but I want to make sure I bring you everything because some of you have not been following the story, so you really don't know all the intricate details of this trial. But there's some major allegations against one of the brothers. Jussie Smollett, I'm going to say former Empire star 39. You know, he addressed the court. He explained that he first met Amenbola during the season 4 of Empire in either 2017 or 2018. He went on to claim that the two did drugs together that night, cocaine and marijuana specifically. The Mighty Ducks actor insisted he provided the marijuana, and Amenbola supplied the cocaine, which Smollett then paid $200 for. Article continues below. Here we go. The singer, who was an openly gay black man, went on to say Amenbola brought him to a gay bathhouse where they made out and continued to take drugs in a private room. It was reported. Amenbola has previously stated that his testimony that he is heterosexual and his relationship with Smollett was merely a friendship. The skinny actor then turned his attention to his relationship with Amenbola's brother, Ola, who he stated he does not get along with. Smollett reportedly said that on rare occasions, when they would hang out, Ola took the vibe out of the room. Now, think about that for just a second. As OK previously reported, Smollett accused Ola of being homophobic, a claim the alleged attacker flat out denied. Despite attorneys questioning Ola about certain offensive language used in his past tweets, a photo surfaced of the two brothers at the Chicago Pride Parade, during which they were reportedly handing out condoms and flexing while shirtless and dressed as Trojan warriors. Smollett is now facing charges of felony disorderly conduct after Amenbola and Ola claimed the entertainer paid him $3,500 to stage the assault in January 2019. They claimed the actor wanted to raise his profile because he was unhappy with his role in Empire. OK Magazine is the source. Thank you for joining me. I'm almost an hour in. Sorry I've been late to bring you my commentary, but I had to bring everything to everybody because everybody does not follow every story. The allegations is that there was an attack, a fake attack, a noose thrown around his neck by the brothers, bleach poured on him, a scratch under his eye. He was recording the conversation with his manager or somebody. The problem I have here is this. Drum roll. Are y'all ready? They ain't ready, Queen. How the hell you don't know who's attacking you and you've been screwing the man? Break it to him, Queen. Ding. Class over. Did you hear that? Ding, 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 ding. You've been messing with the man and he approached you in the dark, but you don't know it's him. Oh, wait a minute. Queen, break it down. He been hanging with both of them. So I don't recognize y'all, but I've been sitting with you, hanging with you, chiefing with you, sexing you up, touching your private parts. Come on, Queen, break it to him. They ain't ready. You done touched the man ding dong, but you don't know him in the dark. Wait a minute, somebody get me an umbrella. You can't fake the funk on a nasty dunk, baby. I'm 50 years old. Queen know game when she see it. She know it when she hears it. I can smell game. Jussie Smollett, you a fool. You a utter fool. Because let me tell you something. No matter what them 12 members decide, baby boy, this week, your ass is grass. Somebody gonna fuck you up. You mock my words. You are done. You are done. Not just by Hollywood. Wait a minute. Come on, bring it to him, Queen. No, baby boy. You gonna be walking one day, skipping around in Hollywood, going to get you a Starbucks coffee, and somebody gonna blow your damn brain out. Brains, excuse me, plural. You done threw them boys under the bus, whether gay or not. Whether gay or not. Whether you actually have sexual relations or not. You are foul. You are foul. You are foul. So let's start at the beginning. What happened January 29th, 2019? You tell the police they were white, wearing MAGA hats. Then you changed and said they're pale face. Then a witness says he saw a white man. Which is it? Black, white, pale. But you just fucked yourself because you're now done told the court you screwed one of the damn brothers. So how the hell you don't know who the hell you been screwing and they are beating you up in the damn dark? You still would know it's him. Ski mask, MAGA hat. Oh, hey. I just got to jacking you off. Why are you beating me up? Don't you love me anymore? They gonna find you dead, boy. They gonna find you dead. You have lost your damn mind. The fact that you wouldn't give your cell phone to the police, ding, 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 ding. Guilty. Wouldn't give DNA. Guilty. Got you on camera riding around the neighborhood 3 times in the same week. Guilty. Smoking and chiefing with somebody that you didn't supposed to know. Guilty. Saying the brother took the vibe out the room. So that let us know y'all been hanging tough. All of you. Guilty. Mad at the studio because you want more fucking money when we got folks out here ain't got a fucking job. And you sit up here crying about $100,000 an episode. Negro, is you high? Hell yeah, that weed done went all the way to your damn brain. Give me 100 G's for one day. I'm Gucci. You are a narcissist, a sociopath, diabolical. You are vile, Jussie Smollett. You are a joke to the human race. Not just the black race. Not just the homosexuals. You are disgusting. You are disgusting. Why do you need to go to a bathhouse with a grown-ass man? You give testimony that the brother took you there. So now you're alluding to the fact that he's a homosexual. Because only a homosexual man would invite another homosexual man to a bathhouse. I think you've been watching too much TV and you're trying to go back to the 70s when it was a known thing to go to bathhouses out there in San Francisco, California. See, I know your kind because you do your research because you're a sociopath. Now, many of your friends and family probably didn't know that all that acting you've been doing since 8 years old has led you to be a sicko, a wacko. You are that N-I-G-G-A. I'm going to say that on this live. 2 grown men having sex in public places. Does that sound right to anybody? You're famous and you're going to go to a bathhouse where somebody can go back and repeat. Jussie Smollett was in here. Girl, he's with this chocolate looking dude. Negro, do you think I'm that stupid to think you was in a bathhouse, in a public bathhouse with another man? 2 times. You touching his wee-wee, he touching yours. Y'all kissing in a private room. What's wrong with your apartment? I'll wait. Jussie, can you hear me? Can you hear big girl? What's wrong with your apartment? What's wrong with his apartment? Yeah, okay. What's wrong with a hotel? You got money. You see, that's the thing a liar never thinks on and banks on. It's called common sense. What's logical and illogical. You're famous. You're not going to go up in no hotel knowing you could be seen and people know who you are in Chicago. Chicago's been very kind to you. The castmates of Empire, the studio, and this is how you pay the fine people of Chicago back. This is how you pay law enforcement back, wasting their time investigating a faux crime. It's below 0 outside, and your goofy ass says you're going to find a damn Subway sandwich. Come again? Okay. Left the noose around your neck because your manager person told you leave it on. They need to see that. So that's how we know it's a lie, because you took the noose off, put it back on, hopscotch, back and forth, ping pong. You're sick. Putting on for the camera, the police camera when they walk to your apartment, asking you what happened. You see, you can play this role, Jussie Smollett, because you've been acting all your damn life. So it's befitting that an actor would make up such a foul story, send letters to himself, to the studio, accuse the studio of biasness, then 5 days later say some white men were running around the city in 0 weather with MAGA hats on, beating you up. Yet, you're standing on all 2 feet during your interview with the police that night, which shows there's what's nothing wrong with you, because we've seen the Osendero brothers. They wanted your ass beat up. Bruh, you have a broke leg, broke femur, broke back, broke neck. I'm done. Is the brother gay? You've thrown him under the bus now. You said he took you to the bathhouse on one occasion. So is the brother gay? Is he a closeted gay? Is the other brother jealous of you two's relationship that you once had? I'm just throwing this out here because this is what the hell you took to the courthouse. 2 visits to a bathhouse. Yet you have your own place. The attorney asked you, when did you start dating the brother? Asked the boy when he started dating you. He said he never did. Is the brother gay? Because now people going to start asking. Is one of the brothers a homosexual? Thanks to your dumb ass. So if he was in the closet, his ass going to come out now. What he got to lose? Are both the brothers gay? Hell, why stop with one? You've made up this shit, stank face. Because I'm not about to believe nobody's gay. Nobody was giving hand jobs, kissing, because I always have to think about one thing. You have the money to buy a hotel, a spa. There was no reason for you two to meet in a public place and go to a bathhouse. Neither. And you wouldn't be stupid enough to be caught in a bathhouse knowing how people gossip and talk. How do the brothers feel now that you've thrown them under the bus as a homosexual? How does Mr. Don Lemon feel? Oh, yeah, let's talk about your other gay friend. Ting. Is he gay or not gay? Somebody help me out. I'm drowning. What in the hell would possess you to go up in that damn courtroom and tell the conversation that you had? I do not get. Why? You would even mention his name with the conversation that you had. You had no reason to say anything about that conversation. Because we don't know what's the truth coming out of your mouth. And you're known to make up stuff, such as this farce. So what I have to ask myself is, if you lie about being attacked, you'll lie about somebody being gay and having sexual relations with them, lie about one initiating sex in a bathhouse, you'll probably lie on Don Lemon, that he said the police said you're making this up. Okay? This is ridiculous. You have no loyalty to anyone. You have no loyalty to your friends, your associates, because there was no reason for you to go into that courthouse and throw Mr. Lemon under the bus. You had no right to do that. You wanted someone famous to appear that they were on your team and believed you, and you just sucker punched that man, and you know he has a prominent job with CNN News. And now you just fucked him royally. So God forbid he has to now sit in a room and explain what he said and didn't say to you in confidence. The best thing Don can say to his superiors, if it comes down to this, I don't know what the hell Jussie Smollett is talking about. I didn't never tell him that the police thinks he's guilty. And I'd leave it at that. I wouldn't even say, yeah, I heard it through the grapevine. Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. Because in the end, you cannot stop people from gossiping and repeating, he said, she said. And that's just the bottom line. Nobody can prove if this conversation is the truth. If Mr. Lemon did say this, who told him this? If it was true, it doesn't matter. You had no business going in that courtroom and saying that about your friend. So I don't want to hear anybody saying Don Lemon broke protocol, CNN rules, blah, blah, blah. Give me a break. People talk. People watch the news. It was obvious he was lying. That was the reason why the brothers eventually told the truth about the fake attack. Because they had been seen on surveillance cameras. They were seen buying the hats, the gear for the attack. So they did the right thing and told the truth. Jussie Smollett, you're sick. You're a very sick person. And you have no loyalty to anybody. I told you all before that he's a narcissist and a sociopath, and he would throw anybody under the bus for the hell of it. And he has done just that in this case. He is ratchet. And I also told you that he's probably done other ratchet things before, but has not been caught and stood account. So what you have to ask yourself is, what else has Mr. Smollett done that he hasn't been caught for? Because this is what I tell you all. If you do this right here, you'll do something else. You lie about one thing, you'll lie about another. And if you're diabolical to throw innocent people under the bus to get attention and get out of going to jail, what else are you capable of? And that's the real deal. What else is Jussie Smollett capable of? If indeed this is a real attack against Jussie Smollett by the Osendero brothers, you should know by now what he has revealed in open court is the ultimate reason for the Ultimate brothers to whoop his ass. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? They have every right now to whoop your ass because you have just now thrown them under the bus and accused one of being a homosexual and having sexual relations with you. And possibly he could be gay, but he wasn't ready to tell folks he was gay. You did that for him, and it wasn't your place. This is sickening to me. Jussie Smollett may get off. He may just get probation. But I pray that the 12 members of a jury will say, we will no longer let famous people get a pass for bullshit and buffoonery. We're going to give him the max of 6 years, and he will pay all the money back to the city of Chicago. Every damn dime for the resources they allotted in investigating this crime. And also make him donate money to a worthy cause pertaining to victims of crimes. Pick a box. Any box. You, sir, are diabolical. And there is no help for you. Because you are 39 years of age. I believe I quoted that right. There's no help for you. Because you know better. We're not talking about a 16-year-old wanting attention. Somebody wanting to make the football team, the cheerleading squad, want to be popular in college, want to be seen. You are old enough to damn near be somebody's grandfather. You owe the city of Chicago the money. You owe the city of Chicago an apology. And even though some may judge the brothers as not being trustworthy individuals for going along with this, they're not the first people to do something for money. So I'm not going to judge them. Because in the end, this was all Jussie Smollett's bullshit. He's the one making all the money. He's the one wanting the fame and the glory. He's the one wanting a bigger paycheck. He's the one wanting attention. Jussie Smollett is a fame whore, by all accounts. He's dirty. If you like for me to drop the link, I'll let a few give your commentary. If not, I will go on to my next live for the evening. Thank you all for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you. All right, Chrissy, come on now. Y'all stop that. Woo, Lordy. I done heard it all. Thank you, Kimmy. Yes, AC, this is true. If it was anybody else, they would be in jail. No, honey, not today. Queen ain't trying to see you nothing today, babe. I'm sorry. I'm on a roll. I'm trying to get my stuff out today. Get all my information out because I want to put an end to this trial business because I'm trying to bring you all something every day, naturally. So I wasn't in no dress-up mood today. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hello, Piper. How you doing? Thank you so much. I'll drop the link for just a few, but I have another live pertaining to Summer Wells next. So I need you to hit the link if you're going to hit it. If not, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry it went over. I had a lot I wanted to bring you because a lot of people are not following the story. So a lot of people did not know what happened in court. So I wanted to read all that information to you. Thank you so much. And whoever don't like me screaming, you know you ain't got to be in this chat. Come on now. You know Queen don't care nothing about that. I got my followers. I don't need you. As one old lady once said, I didn't send for you. They know how to Queen rock. Summer Wells is coming up after this live. You have something you like to say, hit the link. Donna. Really, Donna? Thank you, Polly. Well, yes, false reporting. Exactly. It should be a felony, indeed. Thank you. I am highly favored. Amen. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you. Thank you, Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast, you don't never hit the link. What's up with you? The next live is pertaining to Summer Wells. I'm going to go back into the book of life and go back to June 15th. Something that was said in my commentary the other night was ringing in my ears before I went live. And I said, well, I'll be damned. We missed that. I'm going to make you figure out what it is. There's something that I haven't heard anybody even mention on that night. It's pertaining to the dispatch call. That'll be the next live. Justice, he just couldn't wait to come up here. Look at him. What you want?
I'm half dead.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No, you not barely.
Hold on. Can you hear me now? Better?
Donna, calm down. That's why you don't type things. People don't know what you mean and what you don't mean.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Let me see.
Why you so muffled?
I don't know. Well, I'm sick.
Diane, thank you. The next time he gets beat up, no, this time when he gets beat up, it'll be real. Yes, indeed. Go ahead. Bring it to me. Hello, Tiny. Well, Tiny, what is it that you thought you didn't know? Donna, it ain't no big deal, but that's why I tell everybody you have to be careful when you type stuff because you really don't know what people mean when they type stuff. See, everybody will take something a different way. It's not no big deal. I mean, Justice. Yeah, you okay now? Come on, bring it to me so I can get on to my next live.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm just very disappointed that he has brought down the African American community, the Black community. You know, he could have been a good voice for Chicago. He's embarrassed the city.
Anybody. He could have been a good cause for anybody.
Absolutely. He's been, I mean, he's just done a lot of damage to everyone around of him for his arrogance and selfishness.
Yes.
And it's very disheartening. I mean, I didn't even know about the Don Lemon thing.
I didn't either. I didn't know until I saw the notification. No, what it was, a notification came up in YouTube. You know how the stuff start popping up when you start going in there looking for stuff. And I thought CNN knew what is it now? So I started reading everything and I said, I be damn, you just gonna take everybody down with you.
Don Lemon's having a hard time. I mean, because he's got this going on, and then he's got Chris Cuomo, which is his best friend.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He was fired.
Yeah, I saw that. I was wanting to talk about that too, because I think that's like I said, once again, it would only be bad if Chris was on a payroll, like a ghost payroll, but he wasn't. Right. So he said something to the staff, and now all of a sudden, one of them bobbleheads couldn't wait to go back and repeat it.
Yep.
And now the House of Cards, he no longer has a job.
Absolutely.
It's just all this tattletelling on stuff that's really not that serious. I mean, damn.
And I think Don Lemon's getting a divorce too.
From who?
From his husband or whatever. His husband's a white boy.
Oh Lord, look at this. As we lay, Lord, I'm dead. Okay, let me go here because there's so much to talk about. You can't even keep up.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of the brothers gay?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm asking you, do you think one of the brothers is gay from this testimony?
You know, I mean, there's a lot of he may have had
don't do it. Don't do it, say don't do it.
You know, maybe in a drunken stupor.
I looked at his little picture just now and I thought he might be a little feminine. Who knows?
But even if he is, it wasn't his place to say that.
Right. It wasn't his place.
You know, and that's what it's about.
And I thought, could the brother be jealous? Could it actually have been something going on between the two? The brother saw it, sensed it, knew it. He's looking at Jussie like, what the F you doing with my brother? Maybe he don't like gay people, but his brother's gay, but I love my brother. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that could be possible as well.
Woo, the plot thickens.
It's just a very unfortunate situation. And I hope that he gets it handed to him and he doesn't get off with just a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I hope. Is that they make a mockery out of him and say, you know what? You wasted resources. We're in a city that has crime all day, every day. We cannot afford to have people just coming up in here, making up stuff. And we're running around the city in below temperatures, trying to find somebody that assaulted them when it never happened.
Exactly. I mean, and you know, the gay bathhouse and everything. That's complete bullshit. If you're a star of any magnitude, if you're a regular human being, you're going to want as much intimate privacy as possible.
Okay, let's read somebody's comment. I think they were seeing dollar signs from Jussie. What do you have to say about that?
Probably. I mean, say that again. Let me make sure I understand that right.
I think they were seeing dollar signs from Jussie.
From Jussie?
Jussie, yes. Okay, Andrea, come on now. Don't do that.
Well, you know, I mean,
I let everybody give their opinion in the chat, and I let people give their opinion on the panel.
It could be, you know, but you know what? Whether it's they seen dollar signs or not, this wrong is wrong. You know, so I don't know.
What do you think Don is feeling now?
What do I think? Who's feeling? Don Lemon?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Betrayal, embarrassment. I just think I don't know. I mean, how the fuck do you get Don Lemon?
You know what? Let me tell y'all something. And I think most of you know this because everybody in the chat should be over the age of 18, at least 30 years old. You've lived a little bit. You cannot tell people things in confidence.
No.
Because
nope.
Let me see.
You always have to be ready.
Andre, is that something you want to say? Do you want to come up here on you want to hit the link? You got something you want to say to the Queen directly? I'll let you get in the box. You got something you want to say?
Yeah, come on up. I mean, there's nothing to.
Because I like when they get in the box.
Yeah. It's an open platform. You're welcome to come up.
The point is, you can't trust people.
That's right.
Don, whatever he said to him, didn't say, we'll never know because this guy's a liar. So we don't know what Don said to him, but he never thought it was going to be repeated in court.
That is true. That is true.
You threw him under the bus by saying that because one, he works for a news syndicate. So how bad that comes across. Because as I said to people, everything's about perception. So he works for CNN. Now people are going to go run with that. Oh, somebody for CNN broke protocol. They told him what the police said and he shouldn't have went back. You don't know what Don heard it, if it's even the truth. You don't know. We're talking about a liar. So we don't even know what the hell was said.
You know, I think they should leave Don out of it. And
okay.
You know,
you don't disrespect my guests. I don't play that shit.
Oh, do we got a bitter Betty down there?
You don't disrespect my guests because somebody could say the same thing about your comment. That's my mod.
The Queen, listen, I don't even give him the time of day. Like literally.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not letting that go on in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do like other YouTubers, have people up on the platform or in the chat and talk and speak to them like you like them, and then let the people in their comment section and on their platform talk bad about the people in the chat or on the panel. I'm not doing that. That's not going on in my chat.
Well, this is the thing. They would never say anything to anybody's face like that.
Well, I'm just saying, but it's not going on here.
Yeah. Well,
because in the end, nobody in this chat that I know of knows Jussie Smollett or Don Lemon or the Onsendero brothers. We're only going by what was said in court and what information was brought by the district attorney and the police department.
Yes.
But neither of us were there. So anybody in the chat is just giving their opinion, such as myself and whoever I let in the box. You're entitled to believe what you want to believe pertaining to Jussie Smollett. You do not have to agree with what a person is saying in the chat, the hostess, or anybody on the panel. It is a person's personal opinion. But you would not disrespect my guests on the panel. That's out. Even if I don't like what they're saying, you're not going to come in here and disrespect nobody in my chat or my panel.
Well, I think it was just like the other night. You know, we kind of disagreed with somebody that was.
Well, okay, this is a special prosecutor. Good.
So, but anyways, I'm going to jump down. I really want to hear the Summer Wells.
You get your messy ass out of here too.
I can't even see the chat right now.
Clear, delete. Thank you.
Yeah. People are crazy.
Hey, look, 5 minutes. Everybody wants attention.
That's it. They're welcome to get attention up here.
Well, okay. Well, before you go, let me ask you this. What will the jury decide?
You know, I think that we've seen it time and time again. It's like a slap on the wrist. If it would be you or me or any other person, I think their asses would be handed to them. Yeah. But I hope for once.
Yeah.
For once, that it's just the maximum sentence under the law for this, because this has to be, you know, this cut through so many different, you know, demographics, you know, being gay, black, you know, having people come out, you know, so
LGBTFJB. I hope they do.
LMNOPQRS. Yeah.
You don't cut it out now. Stop that. Now, why you acting like that? Well, I want them to find him guilty because this is atrocious. Because if you let him go, you just give him probation. There'll be something else 6 months from now. There'll be somebody else doing the same thing. Somebody else will do the same thing somewhere in America. Oh, I can just call the police and make up stuff and get all this attention. And you've heard stories where people make up stuff about being raped and this and that. And then you got somebody going to jail, prison for the rest of their life. And then they get the DNA and this and that. Man, this is serious.
Well, that's part of that's one of the 10 commandments. You're not supposed to bear false witness on anything.
Wait a minute. Now you ain't one in the Bible. Shut your mouth.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, he says he's a Christian or whatever. He needs to.
Yes, City of Love. Yes, it's embarrassing to keep lying. And that's another thing. Let's talk about that. How many lies are you going to keep spinning? You just, like some reporter said, it's like he can't stop because he's already done it.
Yeah.
And he's trying to finish it. So I'm going to go ahead, not take the plea. You see one of his friends spoke in the commentary that said, you see, he didn't even take a plea. He didn't even take a plea. That doesn't mean that he's telling the truth because he didn't take a plea.
Yeah. That's right. And the big city of love, it's embarrassing to keep lying. Exactly. I 100% agree with that because it's just,
but not
a
to him.
lie is another lie is another lie.
But not to him because, see, we're not his, if we're not in his mindset, he's believed the lies at this point. So he likes the lies. I'm going to go all the way with it. Absolutely. I'm just going to go all the way with it.
Yeah. But the thing about it is we're all standing back here being like, boy, you lying and you are lying bad.
I'm telling you, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about life, which you should already know. Whether that brother or the other brother is gay.
Right.
You done stirred the pot now.
Yep.
And there are people who will hurt you for running your mouth.
Absolutely.
And one thing I've reported on my channel, because many of you who follow my content have watched my content pertaining to people, men who pretended to be women. You get where I'm going with this. And later, behind closed doors, somebody went in their skirt and found a penis in there.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
You see where I'm going? Yeah. Okay. So, best you live your truth because you will be found out eventually.
Absolutely.
If that guy didn't want nobody to know he's gay, you now outed him. He's got some special feeling towards you.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
So guess what? You walk around here free. They now have a reason to whoop your ass for sure.
Oh, he's going to get his ass beat.
I'm telling you,
a whole lot of other things.
He better be careful because this street ain't no joke out here.
Yeah.
Somebody might just whoop his ass on sight because I could.
Not in Chicago, especially.
I don't got to know you, but I know you're a liar. You done went out here and threw these guys under the bus. You done threw that other gay man under the bus. You doing some old whack stuff because you are just nasty and you are vile.
Self-centered, nasty.
Very self-centered. He's very cocky.
It's really sad.
It's sickening. Very, very sickening.
Yes. He probably lied his whole life. Comment says, yeah.
Bridget says he's going to be crying more than Wolf. Amen. Amen.
Yes, he is. Oh.
Okay, let me read you what LGBFJB said. That brother they outed literally faced the death penalty in his home country of Nigeria. They said they can never return now. Wow.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I hadn't heard that. I mean, I've heard, I know about culture differences. In third world countries, it is definitely sin, no to be a homosexual, man, woman, whatever. Okay, so you didn't think about that, Jussie Smollett, that they are from another country. They have family in another country. They may want to go visit their country. You don't know if they're on a visa here, a part-time something. You understand what I'm saying? We don't even know if they're full-time citizens here.
Absolutely. Permanent residents or what? Yeah, you don't know. And it just wasn't his place. I think they was just trying to earn some money, and they were desperate. It's hard to make it. I'm not giving any excuses.
Okay. Bridget says they better sue the she out of Jussie. What do you think about that? Them suing him. Wow. Defamation. Defamation. He can get it for defamation.
Yeah. It's America.
Great point, Bridget.
I agree. That is a good point. And damages of any reputation or.
And I'm sure, and let me tell you, I'm sure there's a lawyer that's saying to them or to the one guy, you need to go ahead and hire an attorney because he's now accused you of being gay and you said that you're not. And now that will ruin your career or your reputation or, because you don't know what can come from this. Let's just say he's been messing with some women in the city, over here, over there. Somebody comes up short. See where I'm going with that? See, this is the thing about he said, she said. It can spin more dirt.
Yeah.
Right. Dirt gets dirt, true. But you know what, Pretty? I'm not mad at the brothers. I'm not.
No, it wasn't their idea.
Yeah, it wasn't their idea. We know what they did was wrong, but I'm not mad at them.
Right.
I'm not mad at them at all because people do all kind of whack stuff for people every day. And it's way worse than pretending to put a noose around your neck and pour bleach on you.
Well, and he may have told them a made up story, not to pretend.
That I'm going to call the police. Because that's
right.
what
I may be practicing. Could he have said, I've been practicing. I need to practice this role or something like that, and I want to do it in the middle of the night. Who knows?
Oh, Bridget said if they can't go home for whatever reason because of Jussie, sue him. Yeah. Shangri-La said he set them up. Well, he did set them up. He set them up.
They cannot go home. I
wouldn't go home either. I wouldn't even risk going home.
Yeah.
But that's not fair to them. Because like I said, I know they made a sound decision. But like we said, how do we know that they knew how far out that was going to go?
I don't think that.
And they asked one of the brothers that. And he's like, he didn't. I guess he said, I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it.
Wow. It's crazy. But
because a lot of people do stuff, even though they're grown and they should have known better. But what you know and what you should know is two different things. People do what they want to do. I don't think they thought it was going to jump off like this. And this is what happens with people when they do stuff, even with murdering people. A lot of times people don't think things are going to just really go in a certain direction. They think it's all going to work out in their favor. I'm going to get away with this. It's not going to be no big deal. I'm going to keep lying, put on my little poker face. Everything's going to be okay.
Yes.
But rarely does it work out like that.
But the problem is you're one mind and there is a lot of other minds around thinking about questions. And you don't think about that during the time. Each question you're just trying to answer to get through the lie.
Yeah.
You say this and then this comes around and you're like, but you said this. And
I tell you what, the Chicago Police Department, those detectives, they saw right through it.
Yeah. Oh,
they saw right through it. They saw right through it. And that's the most interesting part of the story is that they saw through that. They gathered their information. They got the boys, on camera. They even got him on camera riding around in the car. They did their job.
Exactly.
They did their job.
Yeah. All right, Queen. I'm going to be listening.
How's the children? Feeling better?
They're doing better this evening. They're doing better this evening.
Okay. Well, good. Because I don't want no looks. I sure don't want no COVID.
Yeah. Well, thank God I'm vaccinated and kids get over it easier. So
thank you so much.
Still doesn't mean you can't get it.
Oh, I ain't said you couldn't get it, but I'm just saying I don't want it. That's what I'm saying.
I know I didn't want it either, but a kid in their class apparently had it. We was on quarantine and started showing.
And the hubby's feeling okay? Or half and half?
He's not.
Oh, really?
He's the bad one. He's the bad one. Yeah, well, he's the one having the hardest time.
So where are you? You stand in another room?
Honey, I've got it. I am positive COVID.
You got COVID?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I thought you said they had it.
They do, but I have it too.
Oh, Lord, get off my line.
My face is swollen and stuff.
You need to be in the bed.
Well,
oh, Lord, Jesus, what am I going to do with you?
Don't you hear me?
I got another person want to come up. I'm going to let this lady speak, and then I'll jump off here. All right, I'll see you in a little bit, honey. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye. Hello? Hello? She's not paying attention. Oh, Lordy. Hello, Mama. She can't see me. You got to talk, baby. You got to talk. She's got her thing on. Hello. No, he don't look sick. He looks good for a person with COVID, don't he? Oh, mercy. Thank you all for joining me so much. I really appreciate it. Mama, you got to talk. You got to take those headphones off, honey. Hello, ma'am. I don't think she can hear me. Well, I don't know. I don't know, Bridget. I'm 1 hour and 39 minutes in. Thank you all so much for joining me. This trial should end shortly pertaining to Jussie Smollett. As most of you who have probably followed the story the past 2 days, there were a lot of accusations made in court by Jussie Smollett against one of the Osendero brothers. He has alleged that he's had an affair with one of them. There was some touching and kissing, 2 trips to a bathhouse, riding around smoking marijuana. One of the brothers allegedly offered him cocaine. He paid for that drug or drugs. It's just, this is probably this is just a case that just sickens me because I know this man is lying. And so therefore, if there's anything else that happened between the brothers, as far as drug related, talking, laughing, hanging, it's neither here nor there with me at this point because he's a liar. And anybody that would try to con and swindle the people that they work for, they ain't hitting on nothing. They ain't hitting on nothing. I guess Mama, she's not going to be able to join us because she can't get her microphone. I don't know what's going on. Well, let's see. Oh, thank you, Rochelle. Mama, you're going to have to unmute your mic because I'm going to come off of here. I don't know what's going on because it's already after 10. I've got to do my next live. Well, if nobody else is going to come up to give their commentary, I'm going to check out of here. I thank you all for joining me and letting the queen vent. I'm livid today because I just can't understand a person that will go through this type of nonsense for attention. It's very sad. Very, very sad. And Jussie Smollett was afforded the opportunity to do great things, and this is what he chose to do with his time. He is a narcissist. He's a sociopath. He's ungrateful. There are many people who hit the pavement every day to be in the entertainment business, singing, dancing, acting, stage plays, and it takes them years before they get a major role in a TV show or a movie. And it's just sad that this is what it has all come down to in his career, to exact a fake crime to get attention from his studio. And there's no way in the world they would ever have respect for him. And I don't see how anybody could ever have respect for him. I don't care if it's his family, friends, castmates. It's all the same to me. He's vile to me. And I pray that those 12 members will come to a conclusion of finding him guilty, make him pay for his sins, make him pay the money back to the city of Chicago, make him stand account for what he did, because what he did was wrong. And he doesn't care about anybody. The fact that he threw those brothers under the bus, the fact that he threw Don under the bus with an alleged private conversation that should have never been repeated in a courtroom, if indeed it's true, doesn't really matter. At some point, Jussie Smollett, you knew the detectives did not believe you. They told you that. So you repeated what allegedly Don said. You just did that to show you had somebody backing in your corner and you wanted to repeat that he said it. But you're now causing strife with this man in his job. And once again, he has a prestigious position. Nobody just wakes up and gets a job at CNN. Nobody just wakes up and get a high-paying position on a TV show. You're just a loser, a damn loser. I thank you all for joining me. Like I said, if you'd like to donate to the channel and the dream, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you all so much. Yes, Shangri-La, he needs to be made an example of. He really does. I'm livid because the stuff that was repeated in court, you can't take it back. And that's the thing about repeating things. You can't take it back once you say it, whether it's true or not. You can't take it back. And I think he did whatever he could to show favor to himself, reasonable doubt, as was mentioned in this commentary. Did Jussie Smollett give reasonable doubt to the court, to the judge, jury, that this act was possibly true? And I say he still made a fool out of himself, and no. Because the one thing that he did is that he lied initially of what the suspects looked like. Now we find out he knew the suspects. We now find out he's hanged with the suspects. We now find out he allegedly had sex with the suspect. He never wanted to offer up his cell phone. DNA. Those are very suspect things when you're the one alleging to be assaulted. You would break your neck to give your DNA, your cell phone records. He knew not to give the cell phone because it would show private conversations and God knows what else in his cell phone that he didn't want these detectives seeing about him. He's dirty. He's a dirty MF. And I have no empathy for him. I have no sympathy for him. I feel nothing for him because he doesn't care about anybody. He's a lone wolf. And he has ruined his career, and that's his choice. He made his bed, now he has to lie in it. And I don't think anybody would ever hire him or trust him. Because like I said before, thanks, Diane. Yes, he's very messy. Jussie Smollett, to me, is evil. Because what some of you need to understand about his character is this. If you lie about one thing, you'll lie about another. And imagine if you cross Jussie Smollett. Stay woke. You make him mad. You do something that he thinks you did wrong, said. How far would he go to get revenge on your ass? You remember that. Because he's shown you what he'll do to boost his own career. Now imagine if you cross him. What he would do to you. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Next live, Summer Wells, the dispatch call, chopping it up. Did Candy Bly Wells leave the property to discard her child and make the 911 phone call after discarding her child? I'll be back.